Welcome to today's episode of Healing Arts, where we delve into the transformative power of art therapy in addressing trauma. I'm your host, Clara, and today we'll talk about an important topic that affects so many lives: trauma and how we can creatively navigate through it.
That's right, Clara. Trauma can emerge from a wide array of experiences, from a single traumatic event to chronic situations like abuse or neglect. Often these experiences can leave us feeling overwhelmed, stuck, and disconnected. Today, we'll explore how trauma lives within us and how art therapy can serve as a guiding light on the path to recovery.
And just to clarify, trauma implies a range of responses to distressing events. It often manifests in nightmares, emotional numbness, or intense reactions to what might seem like minor triggers. The truth is, trauma affects everyone differently, and understanding these nuances is essential for healing.
Absolutely, Clara. Now let's consider how trauma affects our nervous system. It can wire our emotional responses for high reactivity. For instance, someone who experienced trauma might find themselves feeling anxious or on edge, unable to regulate their emotions effectively. This wiring can lead to either intense reactions or complete withdrawal from emotions altogether.
That's an important point. It's interesting how, for some individuals, strong sensations and impulses might flood in, while others might feel overly controlled, detached from their feelings. It's like being in a state where your body and mind don't sync up. The challenge is that verbal processing alone can sometimes elevate that dysregulation, bringing up more sensations without a clear path to resolution.
Exactly, which is where art therapy shines. It allows for nonverbal methods to help process trauma, often starting from the body and senses before moving into more cognitive approaches. This is what we mean by bottom-up and top-down therapies. Let's break those terms down a bit. Bottom-up methods address sensations and feelings directly. It's a hands-on approach to dealing with energy and impulses. On the other hand, top-down therapy involves cognitive processes. It starts with what we think and how we interpret our experiences before moving into sensations, more structured work.
Each approach can be incredibly effective, but may resonate differently with individuals. Let's look at an example. Two brothers who came to art therapy, each with their own unique needs and pathways.
In this case study, one brother thrived on vigorous clay-based activities that allowed him to discharge some of that pent-up energy. This was a classic bottom-up approach. He needed to physically engage before he could dive into the emotional narrative of his trauma.
The other brother had a different path. He started with structured drawing, focusing on cognitive reframing of nightmares, which is more of a top-down method. As he became more comfortable, he transitioned into expressive, sensory work. This exemplifies how various art-making methods can create pathways toward integrating one's body sensations, emotions, and storytelling.
Beautifully said, Clara. And this brings us to a practical exercise that listeners can engage with, one that emphasizes safety instead of reliving traumatic events. We call it the Safe Island Map. This exercise is designed to foster a sense of comfort, not trigger memories.
Let's guide our listeners through it. First, find a blank piece of paper. Visualize a safe island, a place where your body feels settled, whether it's real or imagined. Once you have that image in mind, begin to draw or collage your island.
As you create this island, consider adding 3 elements that symbolize safety for you. Maybe it's strong cliffs representing boundaries, a calm tree representing peace, or trusted figures, real or imagined, who provide support.
And this is key. As you add each element, notice what's happening in your body. Are you feeling more relaxed, tense, warm, or is your breath changing? How do those sensations shift with your creative process?
Exactly. This is an exploration of how creativity can lead to somatic awareness. Finally, gently name a resource that this island represents for you, such as courage or protection, and reflect on where you might already experience a tiny bit of that resource in your daily life.
Remember, listeners, this is not about illustrating specific traumatic events. This exercise is meant to foster grounding, and such sharing should happen within a safe therapeutic space. The safe island can become a recurring image in your therapeutic sessions, something to come back to and anchor yourself with.
It's also essential to create a sense of containment after such exercises. We want to encourage a brief grounding ritual. This could mean feeling your feet on the floor, naming 5 things you see in the room, or even sipping a glass of water. Anything that brings you back into the present moment.
And just to highlight here, effective trauma treatment is phased. First comes stabilization and safety, then processing, and finally reconnecting and making meaning of the experience. It's a journey, and while art therapy can be an incredibly helpful tool, it's crucial to remember that professional support is also important.
We encourage our listeners, especially those experiencing persistent symptoms, to bring their safe island concept to a trauma-informed clinician or to seek professional help. There's no shame in reaching out for support.
As we wrap up today's episode, remember that everyone's journey with trauma is unique. We hope this gentle introduction to art therapy helps you navigate your own experiences or support someone you care about. Art can be a powerful medium for healing, and each small step you take matters.
Thank you for joining us today on Healing Arts. Until next time, take care of yourselves and be gentle with your healing journey.